Welcome, everybody, to episode 13 of season 1 of In Cadence. It's good to be with you again, Pax. Let's go.
Hi again, guys. Quick intro warmer. I'm Keith, 43 Flea.
I'm Ken, I'm 51, and in the gloom, Pax call me Shredder.
And our epic guest tonight is...
Tosh, 35, Shaman.
Excellent. We're going to play cheese or chocolate with you tonight, Shaman. We know the questions, you don't know the questions, so this is going to be just speak from your heart, speak quickly.
Okay.
And we're going to give you some options, and we're going to start with Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi. OG Pepsi as well.
The full fat one?
Yeah, 100%. Coke's too much, man. Coke's too much. It just tastes like fizz. Diet Coke, I don't know what people are doing drinking Diet Coke.
Weird,
really.
isn't it? It's kind of chemicals.
Yeah, Diet Coke has its own cult as well. Like, people either hate Diet Coke or the people that actually like Diet Coke, they're so die-hard for it. They're just constantly walking around with a can of Diet Coke in their hand, like you associate that person with the drink. But never got the Pepsi. OG Pepsi, all the way. Just tastes better.
Slight technical issue here. I've not got the questions.
We're not professionals.
I only pulled up the one that was on the chat.
There's the tech difficulty. We knew it was somewhere, lads.
Do you know what? It's a shame, isn't it, when the technical bit is worked seamlessly for the whole series, and the thing that's let us down is my preparation.
So we're gonna
keep this in.
We'll take half salary for the next month. That's our punishment.
Okay, deal. Right, I'm ready.
Go on then.
Cowabungas or 11s?
11. Yeah, I like the simplicity of it.
Go on. Tell us more.
Yeah, I just like 11s. I'm pretty sure my first beat down was 11s as well. I remember just absolutely blowing. And it's great because you can put so much variety in how you do it. But it's simple enough just for everybody to remember. You know, if you want to chuck some bear crawls or some lunges going up or down, and you can, put two separate exercises that are on the same body type, on the same body part. Or if you're feeling sadistic, you can put, on the same body part. I just like 11s. I like the simplicity of it. And it always gets the job done. I'm a bit more of a fundamentals guy. So, 11s for me.
Unpacking that. And also, if your name's Mouse and your Q, they can become 12s. Well done, Mouse. Right, next one for you then. HP or Daddies?
I've got a declaration to make, guys. I don't like brown sauce. If you say
you don't like brown sauce, I guess we're just... Good night, everyone. See you next time.
I'm team barbecue, but like over the years, I'm kind of getting right to the brink of actually liking the sweet tanginess of brown sauce. So I'm there, but I'm not at a level where I could even pick between the two because
You're only 35, aren't you? Your taste buds are still developing.
Yeah, I'm still figuring things out, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still figuring things out.
Exactly.
Okay, books or board games?
Board games, but I love books as well. I'm a bit of a nerd. I'm a super slow reader. I am a really, really slow reader, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy books. I think that there's so much information online and out and about today that it can get confusing and misleading. And I always find that if I go back to a book, it just kind of distills things and keeps it to the fundamentals. Like I said earlier, like older books, especially, I like to Bob's of psychology and stuff like that. But board games, it's got to be because you've got the social aspect there. And it's like a halfway house between being able to be an introvert and staying in your head, because you're strategizing. You get permission to what I call retreating to the tower. I can be in the tower, but I can still be in the room because I'm playing the game as well. So for me, it's a halfway house between. Yeah, I love board games.
I definitely think you need to read that super better book I mentioned earlier. I think you'll love it.
I think I'm going to have to grab it.
Next one. This is kind of serious work now. Mars bar or Snickers?
Snickers. I'm a chocoholic, man. I love chocolate. And Snickers is the Donny. It really is. Like, I love peanut butter, and it's a Mars with peanuts in. Like, it's a Mars with essentially peanut butter in. You just gotta make the peanut butter yourself by chewing. It's perfect.
You're preaching to the choir, brother. I don't have a problem with that. Where do you stand on that, Flea?
I did Right, admission now, I'm not a massive peanuts in desserts or chocolate. As whole peanuts. Now, if you gave me something like a Reese's Piece mini, fine, that's okay. But the crunchy peanuts in a dessert, I'm not a big fan of.
Okay, I get you.
But I like salted peanuts and dry roasted peanuts. Savory peanuts, no problem. But
they've just got to be on their own.
There are tribes, I think, in the Pacific where the women chew the food for the men. Flea, do you want to go and sort of hang out with them? Is that what you're saying?
I'll go and plant a flag in the
Snickers. You wouldn't have to worry about the peanuts then. It'll just be pre-made peanut butter by the ladies. Sort it out.
I'll chew this for your husband.
I got to turn up in Oceania with a couple of bags of KP nuts. chew them, ladies. Right.
Pacific is awesome. You definitely would love it. You'd look good in the skirt too.
Ooh, a Mars bar in the freezer though is absolutely elite. I'll eat a 4-pack of Snickers and be looking for another 4-pack. But the way to slow me down, which my mum did when we were younger, freeze your Mars bars, man. You can't blast through them in 30 seconds. Like, you got to nibble away. It takes a good 7-8 minutes. Just a tactic, if you're trying to not smash all the chocolate as well.
That's a queen tip for you.
That's not a bad queen's tip.
Freeze your food and then it'll slow it down when you eat it.
Just don't do it with chicken, yeah?
Just don't do it with chicken. Or if you do, cook it first.
Yeah.
I totally lost where we are.
Yeah, my question next. Bricks or Cindy's?
I would say Cindy's. I quite like the 2 hands on and whatnot. I feel like you can do more with Cindy's, and they're a bit heavier as well. I like using bricks for merkins, so you can get the extra depth. It's really nice. But as far as like curls for the girls, overhead presses, even when you're sometimes we'll go the length of the court and we'll have the Cindy and we'll push it. So we'll bear crawl down and then we'll grab it and we'll push it. I feel like there's a lot of exercises that you can do with a Cindy that you couldn't get away with if you was using bricks. So even though it's one brick, I feel like it's much more versatile. No, it's one Cindy. It's much more versatile than 2 bricks.
Yeah. And if you're feeling really confident, you could mod up with 2 Cindy's.
Yeah.
And then do the same what you do with 2 bricks. If you
blast a few holes in them.
Yeah.
You can do uneven with the Cindy. I had Pax doing it on this infinity loop workout the weekend before last. So you had one hand up on the Cindy and then the other hand down on the ground, and then you transitioned.
One side. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, some people call it offset but yeah, I mean, it's fair, isn't it? Cindy's get a lot of love and they deserve it.
Walter came up from down south to do a beat down at Wilberforce as well. And it was with Cindy's and it was Johnny something. I can't remember what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was one press with the Cindy and then 2 presses overhead or 4 presses. I'm not sure. And then 2 presses with the Cindy and then going up. And that
Jack Webb.
That's the one.
Jack Webb.
Sorry, yeah, not Johnny. Jack Webb. I'm thinking Johnny Appleseeds. Yeah, Jack Webb. That was a month.
That's a horrific. I mean, watching packs that you know and respect and really go for it, tap out on that's a horrific little finisher.
Yeah, that was hefty. I think that was after bear crawling like the whole park and back, so all he is burning anyway. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Just realised that Brooke hasn't played Jack Webb yet. Okay, this one would be a weird one maybe. Cauliflower, broccoli.
Cauliflowers, I don't hate cauliflower, but like, just gives me it's a bit more like watery and empty of flavour. Broccoli, even if you don't like broccoli, at least it tastes of something. That's just my opinion. And I hate cheese as well. Like, I'm a chocoholic and I hate cheese, so people think I'm a bit of an alien. But like, I can't have cauliflower cheese or broccoli and cheese for that matter. But yeah, you're going to need a whole lot of something to make cauliflower seem like it's got a bit of personality, because it's just not.
There's the group of people that like cauliflower steak, and I feel like they've got the second word right.
Cauliflower steak?
Yeah, so what you do is you take a whole cauliflower and you kind of blanch it up in 1-inch chunks, and then you spend about an hour online explaining why, when you put enough herbs and spices with it, you won't miss the steak.
Is this a keto thing? Is it the keto guys been on this?
No, I don't know.
No, because keto would embrace eating the meat.
Yeah,
in
they would want the meat,
principle.
wouldn't
Oh, they'd just have the steak, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I think it's more the
want
vegan and vegetarian allegiance, which would be more
That's the one. I've gone to the wrong.
avoiding the meat. So
meat.
yeah,
Meat. This thing, after saying with Dark Helmet that I couldn't get the big joints in Costco, all the supermarkets have got half-price meat offers at the moment. And honestly, buying like 2 kilo slabs of rump now and having it sliced every day, I feel like I've got to eat steak. I feel like it's now my mission because it's become so cheap. I had steak lasagna tonight.
Now you just taking the mick and steak lasagna.
I made I cooked the rump in the Ninja and it was 40 degrees, so it was mega rare. And then I layered it with the tomatoes and the lentils and the other vegetables in there, which did include cauliflower. Then the lasagna sheet and the cheese on top, cooked it for about half an hour. And when it came out, the steak was still pink. It was divine.
I can't lie, like, I'm in the Queen's chat as well, and I know I don't post much, but I am on there prowling, do you know what I mean? I am on there prowling every now and again. And your lineup, Shredder's insane, mate. Like,
Some of the stacks out.
Some of the stuff you put the ice cream on there and stuff, and you're like 60 grams of protein in that, and I'm like, damn.
Pizza from lunchtime's got 100 grams of protein in it from today.
I need some
that pizza's good.
That pizza's good, right?
I did that pizza, yeah, it's really good.
And it freezes well, because that's what I had today. So we better keep going, because look, 10 minutes in and it's cheese or chocolate still.
Oops. So much for quick fire game. Who invented this game, eh?
That's
All
true,
right, next important question. Cat or dog?
I used to be a cat lover and only a cat lover. I never used to really like dogs. I had a cat when I was a kid and just chilling, watching TV, stroking the cat. And as I've gotten older, I've realised what selfish bastards most cats are. They really are. If they ain't got no food, if you ain't got no food from, they don't really want nothing to do with you. Most of them, there are exceptions. I'm not going to lie, but a lot of cats. But when a dog, they're just happy, man. They're good loyal. To be around. They elevate the energy in the room. They're not trying to scout you for food, like, or claw your eyeballs out. Like, I don't hate cats, but I've drifted towards team dog.
Dog.
Yeah, I don't even have a dog, but I'm team dog.
Tea or coffee?
Tea. Yeah, tea. Although I did get addicted to coffee when I was like 9 years old, and I was drinking like 8 to 9 cups a day with 3 sugars in each. I just got the taste. You know, when you put enough sugar into a coffee, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is nice. It must have been like 9-year-old cost the brain, like charged up on caffeine. And after a couple of weeks, I realized like, this is a problem. This is a real problem. And then I knocked it on the head. I made the conscious decision at about the age of 9.
If you freeze them, they're harder to drink, you know.
Just licking frozen coffees, taming the addiction. Oh, that's brilliant. But yeah, I don't think you can beat a good cup of tea, personally. A pack of chocolate digestives. Sorry,
now
lads.
we're going off script.
We're trying to keep the Queens in check.
And last question to the cheese or chocolate game is football or rugby?
I'm not particularly like a big rugby fan or anything like that. Like, if you asked me to name you 5 rugby players, I could name you Johnny Wilkinson from like back in the day, and that's it. But yeah, I tried to get into football, and once they start rolling around on the floor, they lose me. You know, I grew up and done a lot of combat sport over the years. And so when I see guys who don't get hit by anything rolling around and claiming for cards, it just triggers a bit of a disgust response in me. That's not to say they're not skillful, because they're obviously skillful. You know, some of the footballers are really amazing, but rugby for me, there's something about just the grit of it, like getting in there, just cracking on, noses hanging off, just clink, 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 back in there. Like this, yeah, fair play to them.
It's time now to make our guesses on how you got your F3 name. Shredder, do you want to take the honours of having the first guess?
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling to form this, but I was thinking about, the thing is because you're a young gentleman, I didn't know if this was going to work, but all I could think of was, you know, the band, the Shaman, who did that song Ebenezer Good. You know, he's a good. That was all I thought, that you got named because you liked that band, and I'm like, that's rubbish. But that's it. That's all I've got.
Yeah. Well, Shaman links to witchcraft, and again, I would naturally want to go down that route, but I can't think of anything tangible that would get me back to witchcraftism, whatever that is, witchcraft. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. So would you fill us in? Give us the lowdown.
Truth.
My name is from that game that we spoke about that I was addicted to for a long time. And in that game, I played a shaman, an enhancement shaman. And essentially, I used to play a different class. And then I went to, transition to playing a shaman. And the spec itself is an underdog spec. It's like people don't play in PvP, but there was something I quite liked about the difficulty of kind of grinding through and being an underdog. And so I took on that role to kind of build mental fortitude inside the game, because I felt like I'd need it outside in the real world when I did transition. Even though I was addicted to games and I was entrenched in that life and I couldn't pull myself away from it, I knew that skill set, if I develop it in the game, once I come out of it, I can still apply that mentality to life. And that's the same with the leadership, because I can't go as an enhancement shaman. I can't just go and dive into things and go, okay, you two guys, I'm going to beat both of you guys up or whatever. Like it's a team-based character where it elevates the group. And so me boding as the central glue of a group is much better than me running in. And so it's kind of has its own built-in humility checker with it, if you know what I mean. And there's something I really loved about that. And so, yeah, that's where the name Shaman comes from. I did get into a big rabbit hole regarding detoxification and herbalism. So that would be considered, witch doctor-ish, a bit of shamanism. But yeah, that's where it's from. That's where it's from.
So is that a kind of buff and heals type role in a group?
Yeah. So it's a big buffer. The shaman drops totems that helps all parties within a certain radius. It was a melee class, but it was a momentum-based melee class. And it was also very aggressive, disruptive support. So although I could be right on the front line with the melee guys, I would be disrupting and off healing and dropping support and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right. That's excellent. I like that. That's a good answer. Cool. Well, let's keep going then. So if you were queuing for us and you said the next exercise is the shaman, what could we expect from a shaman exercise?
Ooh, the shaman. Something that's full-bodied, something that encompasses the whole body, and something that requires good form, that emphasizes good form and technique over a massive amount of reps. Maybe something that's similar to maybe an eight count burpee, or something that goes around the world, as it were, something that encompasses all body parts. I would say that would be an exercise that I would call the shaman for sure.
To get on and invent it.
Damn, you're going to give me inspo now.
Okay. What would you say is your most hated exercise?
Oh my God, sled pulls, partner sled pulls. Oh my God, they're miserable. They're absolutely miserable. We did them at the Convergence. Forgive me, I forgot his name. Third quarter.
Sharkbait's quarter. Sharkbait was queuing that quarter of
that one. I thought I was going to die. Every time he said, every round he would repeat the exercise. He would say, next exercise, sled pull. And we always, in F3, we confirmed the exercise back. And inside my head, I didn't confirm it back, because inside my head, what I was actually screaming to him was, F you. Next exercise is sled pull. And I was like, F you. And then I get up and go. I thought I was going to die. Honestly, he really did. Like I had to give him a thumbs after. I was like, fair play. I feel like you almost killed me. But yeah, that was an exercise that I could feel literal dread in my body, and I don't feel that with any other exercise. I feel like, this is going to suck. What he did to us on the Convergence that day, I was like, oh man, yeah.
I feel your pain. I went through that one as well, and pretty much the same emotions as you doing that. And if I remember right, that was in the reserve in the corner that's going uphill. So it's uphill partner pulls with those resistance bands, and it was disgusting. There's a video of me actually somewhere of just coming out of that quarter, running uphill to the next station, and Walter's got his phone out, video me asking how it was going, and I just said,
Flea, what's the situation?
I am wrecked. 3 quarters in. Last one.
I'm knackered. It's coming up. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, but
Really brutal.
really good for you though. Really good for explosive
Amazing.
power. So we've talked about your most hated exercise. Which exercise do you really love doing?
I think maybe the 6-point burpee. Not necessarily that I'm like amazing at it or anything like that. I just quite like the burpee. It covers everything, if you know what I mean. It covers so much of the body in one go. It's simple, but it's not easy. And you can tweak it in ways to make it either really intense and overwhelming cardio-wise. You can add an extra merkin in there for a 2-point burpee. Yeah, for me, the burpee's king. And I do actually enjoy doing it.
What's the standard in the Midlands? I forget now. It's been a while since I posted down there. But is it a jump at the end, or is it a clap? Or I can't remember
Yeah.
what you do.
Sorry, mate. I'm cutting you off. Yeah, jump and a clap. Jump and a clap. Yeah. I used to watch videos of a guy. I don't know if he was a Navy SEAL or a Marine. It was called Iron Wolf. I used to do like Iron Wolf challenges, or try to do Iron Wolf challenges anyway. And he'd do like a confirmation where he'd hit his hands on his lower abs to engage his glute in his lower abs before he goes down for each rep. And that's how I did it. But then when I came to a free, it was the jump and clap. So yeah, I'm on the jump and clapping now.
The burpee challenge we started this year in January. I heard them talking about it on the Hunt for Wellbeing podcast this week. And obviously he said he didn't mind how people did it. When we started it in the UK, there was kind of proper merkin. Do the merkin, go down on the merkin. And actually I like that because it makes it better form. And sometimes I think the clap's fun, but if you can push that merkin down and you can push that merkin up, you can get a lot out of it. One of our packs this week had said to me, because I'm still doing the 50 a day and it's nearly the end of the year, he said to me, why don't you try some mobility with it? So I've been doing 10 and then a minute's mobility and then 10 again. And that was a nice twist, actually. I'm 50. I'm 100 behind, actually. I didn't do them yesterday or today, but I'm going to pack them in and do the mobility with it and just enjoy that kind of almost like a flow version. The people say to me, I don't like burpees. And I'm like, you don't do enough. Do some more. It's good.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Shredder, because I feel like the more you do it, the more it becomes refined and the more you can start enjoying it. I agree with you on the technique as well. Everyone's got their own way of doing it, and it's not to say that doing it in a different way is necessarily wrong, but I like to, when I hop back into the second part, I like to pause just for a split second in the high plank position before I go down. So I'm starting from a solid press up position. Some people jump down straight into the bottom and then come back up, which is fine. It's more plyometric, but I like to lock out before I go down and make sure it's super strict, while I'm still, yeah.
Good. Quick songorama time then. Where do you take packs with music? What's your kind of go-to genres or tracks that you like to use?
So there's 2 genres of music that I quite like. One, I don't want to say that I stay away from it because I don't know if people will like it, but my second favorite is forms of drum and bass. If I can get drum and bass that's quite energetic and uplifting, and not too heavy, that has a sense of flow and almost a bit of euphoria with it, I like that to kind of get me in the zone. But there's nothing I love more than metal. Metal is, you can't beat it. Like for me, you just can't beat it. It's the warrior music. The other warrior music I would say is rap, maybe gangster rap or drill or grime to really get into that aggression. But for me, I don't really like the lyricism of a lot of that type of music. So I stay away from it because if I listen to too much of it, I want to start running people over. So I stay well away from it. It's not nice. But metal and heavy metal, I love that. So one of the more recent beatdowns that I did was Stricken by Disturbed.
Yeah.
And like I love that, like 2010s. I guess would it be called new metal?
Yeah, I think so.
Metal, new metal? I'm not really
I think it's
sure.
new metal. I'm not sure what David Draymond would say, but
Yeah.
it's that genre, isn't it? It's that.
Yeah. Slipknot, bit of System, Linkin Park, like that's my jam. That's my jam from my teens, I would say. So I've got, at home life, I hung around with, the chavs, as we would be called, in tracksuits and listening to that type of music. And then when I go to school, I'd hang out with the rockers. So I had a bit of like, as well as being mixed race and having two different colored families, I had two very different friend groups as well. So, but for the music, I always leaned into the metal, and for the beat downs, nothing gives me energy like that.
I mean, I've talked a lot about enjoying metal. So much you can do. You talk about Linkin Park. You've got Limp Bizkit. There's loads of energy there. You have to sometimes watch the language, especially because we're kind of encouraged not to use songs with loads of swearing, especially as we're blasting out music in public places. Yeah, power, and as one of our former guests, Gus, would say, you can get angry. Get angry. You can get angry to it. And
Permission.
yeah, exactly. I might have to send you a message about some Disturbed. They were good a few weeks ago at the O2. I enjoyed them.
Sweet, you went to see them?
Yes, and we saw Megadeth as well. It's nice to see them. Never will see them again, so that's good. Checked off. Disturbed are good fun. Metal, yeah, I can see I think you're making some good choices with some of those other things. I've tried to fiddle around with bits of rap. You just don't quite know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a minefield, isn't it? Certain songs are pretty good, but then like you say, profanity and the lyricism, if the lyrics are they're usually a bit more clear so you can hear what they're saying. And it's never really good, is it? Let's be honest. And if it's stuff that's more introspective and reflective and more like of a higher consciousness, then usually it doesn't have that warrior aspect. Usually with that warrior energy coming out, the aggression that you want to get from a beatdown, it's usually talking about stabbing faces or, or it's just, for me, it's just, give me some Rise Against the Machine and I'll be good.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you.
My last two songs I used in beatdowns were Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You and Kylie Minogue's The Locomotion. After the chat with Crust that we had.
That was Crust.
The opposite ends of the spectrum there, mate, I think.
You know what? Actually, with you saying that, I don't think it's a one size fits all. I really do think it fits the vibe of the queue and what's being put through. I can't remember whose queue it was, but the music round was Jungle Book, The Bare Necessities.
I've done that.
And honestly, we was all down there, we was in plank position and we're rocking and we're singing along. And it was so joyous. Do you know what I mean? And like, it was the joy and the nostalgia that got us through that 4-5 minutes, whatnot. So, yeah, as much as digging into that anger, I guess there's many ways to skin the cat.
Yeah. Yeah. And why not do some things where you surprise people? Like, I think I sent Flea some mashups. I've got some mashups to use that I still haven't got them out yet, actually. They're one of my favorite mashups is Metallica mixed in with Stevie Wonder. So you've got Superstitious with, I think it's Seek and Destroy.
Okay.
I have to send you some of those because they will mess with you. Bee Gees and AC/DC. It's one of them as well.
Good. That's a good one.
Wicked. I love stuff like that. Like stuff like, and it's not exactly the same, but Live Lounge, Radio 1, when they bring on artists to play other artists' things, so you get to see the same song but through a new perspective, a new lens. Yeah, it's great.
I wish you could I wouldn't mind trying to get some of there was the whole MTV Unplugged thing. The other thing that MTV sometimes done is the Icon series, where they've had an icon on and then they've either blessed them or tortured them as other artists to perform their tunes. The Metallica one has some very good covers, and I know lots of regular music fans are desperate that there isn't an official release. and then you watch one or two of the others, and I think there was one. It was the Police or someone, and they looked very tortured at what some people were doing to their music. You're like, yeah, the artist is hiding like this, going.
There's nothing worse than a terrible tribute, is that everyone's like cringing and like, oh no, this is not going well. Yeah, I wonder if the people who are singing the bad tributes know that they're performing it terribly, or do they have to like get out of their flow and look at the crowd and see the faces and be like, oh no, I just got to see this out.
It's hard to know, isn't it? It's hard to know. Some of these artists, you see them. I think somebody like Nuno Betancourt, when the Aussie tribute gig was on, he carried the set pieces, not in a negative way, but he was the glue. He was intrinsic to making that whole concert flow so well, because he's stunningly good, and he practices incessantly, and it just comes out in his art. And I think with someone like him, you see it and you go, I've got that. But there might be times when people go, yeah, it's a bit like the difference between how you think you sound when you sing with your headphones on and how you sound if you take them off.
Yeah, definitely. Bit of that like Instagram versus reality going on as well. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Cool. Should we jump into the main thing about the Shaman story? Yeah, tell us, please, about how you got into F3 and how you ended up arriving at your first F3 workout.
Yeah, okay. So last year, is this going a bit too far back? I don't know. My niece and my nephews got taken into care, and so I was in the process of going through the fostering process to get my niece, one of them. It didn't work out because my son is special needs, and there was a big clash there regarding her complexities and my son's needs, which, you know, I couldn't do. So for that reason, things fell apart, and I kind of fell into a bad place. Late last year, I was overcome with a lot of despair. And that's just not me as a person. I'm quite an optimistic person. If I enter a room, I really want to add to it. I don't want to be a guy that's not adding to the room. And so for me to be in that place was just alien to me, if I'm going to be completely honest. While my partner, she just sent me a print screen of a bunch of guys in the dark with a couple of flags behind them, crouched down. And she says, "This looks like your kind of thing." And I looked in and I was like, that does look like my kind of thing. Like, I was like, what are these guys up to? Like, why is it dark outside? So then I went onto the Facebook page. This was on Erdington Massive, and it was a post from Guardian after one of the beatdowns. And I just dropped a comment. I just felt like I wanted to drop a comment to think, yeah, they're getting after it. They're doing something that looks positive. I just want to say, like, you know, fair play, lads, like, you know, get after it. And then immediately Guardian messaged me. I didn't know it was Guardian at the time. You know, it was David. But yeah, we got talking back and forth, and he said, "This is the time we do it, and this is the one." And I thought, you know, it's this day. Do I do this? Like, yeah, I've got nothing to lose. I'm not in the best of places. I need to like get out of this rut somehow. You know, I've been doing the gratitude journaling and trying to do all the things that you think you should do to get out of those situations. And so I found myself walking through this pitch black park, 20 to like 5:40 in the morning. It's raining, it's pitch black, and I'm walking down this park that it's only 5 minutes away from me, but I've never been in that park before. And so I'm walking and I'm thinking to myself, I've been stitched up here. Like I'm walking through this park. There's going to be nobody here. And then as I'm kind of coming round behind the trees, there's a couple of lights in the distance. And I know they're not lamppost lights because they're too low. And I'm thinking, oh, is this the guys? Like, what, like, is this actually, they're actually here? So as I get closer, I go through and literally I walk through into the basketball court. And the moment I walked through into the basketball court, I was like, this is where I'm meant to be. Immediately, the guys embraced me. There was 4 guys there. I think it was Hoops, Fonz, Strings, and Scientist. There was 5 of us on that day. It was pitch black. It was raining. None of them knew me. I knew none of them. And that was it, man. That was it. I left there feeling just on top of the world, you know, and that feeling of, that saying, you know, welcome home. Like, that's what it felt like to me. I'd been looking to try and create something like that space for people who needed it before I was in my bad spot. And it's like 95% of what I dreamt of was here in a park 5 minutes away from my house. And I had no idea it was here. So that's how it started for me.
Thank you for that. Do you remember who your battle buddy was like and what that first session? Do you remember what you did?
Remember we did 11s. I remember that because I was dying. I was dying, lads. I was done. And I was so exhausted. I'm not even sure I can remember my battle buddy, but I'm pretty sure it was the Fonz. I'm pretty sure the Fonz was my battle buddy for the first session. It was a bit of a blur. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't necessarily like super unfit or anything, but I had been out of activity for a couple of years. I'd always been in reasonable shape, but this just, yeah, it had a real different intensity. Every type of exercise has its own intensity, and you don't realize when you're doing it for a while, much like the burpees, that you build you build an efficiency while you're doing it. So I've done martial arts, I've done Thai boxing for a long time. The cardio you need to do Thai boxing is very different to bear crawling and hitting merkins for 11s and jumping squats, man. So yeah, it was a blur.
Were you doing those 11s in the Wilberforce court?
Yeah, in the Wilberforce court. So we'd hit one, run down, hit the other. And I can't remember if it was, I feel like there was bear crawls in there as well. One of the ways, maybe it was running, moseying back and then bear crawling the other way. But man, I was like, what's going on? Like, we're in the rain. It's pitch black. These guys have got headlights on and I was like, what is going on here? Like, I'm not going to lie, I was loving it. I kind of like the fact that it's a little bit, sometimes you turn up and you're like, this is a bit out there. Like, who else is doing this but us? Who else is out in the dark, 5:30 in the morning, 5:45 in the morning, ready to do big boy sit-ups and merkins on the concrete? Nobody, man. Like, and I loved that. I really loved that.
There's something awesomely outrageous, isn't there, about sessions, I think.
Yeah. You get a chance to have a sprinkle of feeling like David Goggins, don't you? You're like, yeah, we're doing this thing. We're doing this thing.
Absolutely. And it should feel like that. I think it's part of the fun and it's part of actually what we need. Because yes, we're grown men, but we're still lads, you know? We still should have some fun.
Yeah. I think that's one of the really beautiful things about F3 as well. It's almost like you get permission to let your inner boy out. In other areas of life, you've got to be dad, you've got to be partner, you've got your job role to do. And it's like, you do get seen, but I don't want to say it's conditional, people's love and acceptance and respect of you outside. But there's something about being inside F3 where you can just be a goof. You can be the goof that you want to be. You can let the inner 11-year-old out playing around. Guardian will let off as many "that's what she said" as he wants, and we're all going to chuckle every time. Do you know what I mean? Like, and no one's judged, man. It's really cool.
Excellent. So you progressed then from posting at Wilberforce over a year ago now, and then you span off the Illumination, which is now your AO as AOQ. So just tell us a little bit about Illumination and how you came about to decide to spin that off.
Yeah. So Illumination came about, it's got to be about seven, maybe 8 months ago now. And it was started up by one of our fellow packs, Capsize, and he grew up in Walsall. And so for him, it was a full circle thing, going back to Walsall and doing something very positive, you know. And so with the Illumination thing, I went to the first beatdown. It was really lovely going there. Like, the park is, the bandstand is beautiful. It's absolutely lovely. It's a lake. There's this, like, I guess, bandstand. There's these giant steps, and it's built in a way that has like a bit of an echo chamber for the sound to crescendo off. So it's built specifically for that. And I was initially going just to support it, just to support the AO firing up, to support Capsize, who I'd gotten really close to over the months, and our post at Wilbur. And so for me, in my head, I was like, I want to make sure that, you know, I can support him in any way which possible. Capsize has more recently took a step back because he's got other commitments and stuff like that. And so I think just naturally and organically, I'd been going to every beatdown. I try and do 3 times a week, and he just kind of fell into it, really. I thought, you know, I don't want to let it drop off or anything. We want to give it a really good push because it's been a bit of a slow burner so far, Illumination has. But it's starting to find its feet. The men in Warsaw are, as far as working in the community, I do a bit of community work in Warsaw, they're notoriously hard to get out and engage compared to the likes of Wolverhampton, etc. So for me, I just seen that as a challenge. I just seen that as a chance for, you know, the Shaman to step in, just like I was talking about in the game. It's a little bit harder. It's a bit more of an uphill battle. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, met some really, really great packs there. It's starting to grow and get its own flavor. Initially, it was a lot of the packs from Birmingham coming, from Reserve, from Wilberforce coming. So it might be, you know, 5 packs from Birmingham and only 1 or 2 from Warsaw. And now that shift is starting to happen where there's more Warsaw-based men coming than Birmingham-based, and that's what we really want. So it's just been amazing. Honestly, it's been really good seeing it pick up and being there from the grassroots, you know.
So I've got a follow-up question then, just to go back to use the language from earlier. So what's going on with Warsaw that you need to debuff and heal men to get them there? What are the kind of what are these bosses in terms of the mindsets, the challenges for you to get through?
I think the main one is disconnection, feeling disconnected, and just that sense of putting ourselves out there. I think more and more things are online. The convenience is there. You don't even have to go food shopping now if you don't want to. You can just go on Asda and click in your thing, pick your time slot and have them drop it to the door. I think that type of lifestyle is it's convenient, but at the same time, it takes away from a sense of community. And I think sometimes we as humans, we can detach ourselves and forget that we're animals, we're human beings, we're pack animals, and we need communication and love and connection to get by, no matter how much money you've got, no matter how big and fast your car is, no matter what your job title is. We need other humans, you know? So I think disconnection. I think it's disconnection of finding a good way to connect with the men of Warsaw. So, yeah.
And for those who are looking to either post at Walsall on the way through, like I did when I was on a work trip, which day, would you just remind us again, please, which days you've got running over there?
We're posting at Illumination on Mondays at 5:45 till 6:30. Yeah. You did come along and do a guest queue, which was great. We're rotating 3 main packs and then trying to do guest queue from one of the other packs in the Midlands to come along. But if anyone is from up north, down south, and they want a guest queue at Illumination in the Walsall area on a Monday, let me know. We'll clear a space for you for sure.
I'm just sitting there. As I was thinking about this, because obviously Flea and I were talking as we often do, and I was saying to my I'm being told Leeds is a good place to go for a city break. I need to kind of try and find some time to go and visit my mum in the Midlands and do some Midlands posts at some point too.
Mate, it'd be a pleasure to have you. I think you're a fan favourite amongst the
it'd be
Midlands
good,
packs.
you know. Like last time I popped into Birmingham, it was a few weeks ago. We saw Extreme at the O2. I took my boy, and it was good. But it was literally a flying visit. What I need to do is try and carve a couple of days and just come and hang out, because obviously I missed the convergence. I do think you need more sled pulls, though. You know, we're talking about how the more you do something, the better it gets.
Yeah. I might have to get some of I know the Reserve have got some. They had some on one of their beatdowns.
I'm just thinking you could nip down the cut with one of those metal magnet things, grab yourself a trolley, take the wheels off, put some cinder blocks in it, and start pushing it down the park.
Just get it on. Chuck a packs in there.
Put packs in there.
Just drag them along.
Clear out the mug, and off you go.
I could just see you now, just like popping concrete in a shopping trolley, pushing them around Wilberforce on the tarmac, just without any wheels on. It'll be up for that.
That's the funny thing, isn't it? Because all of us straight away know that concrete would go, yeah, all right then.
Yeah, he's up for it. He'll be straight in there.
Even if he hurt himself, he'd still do it, wouldn't he?
He's an absolute cyborg of a human, concrete is.
He was like extra at the Valade. I mean, I know his shoulder, he came in with a messed up shoulder. and he had to step back and take his weight pack off, but he was just trying to do everything he could.
And he was always doing it with a big smile on his face, isn't he?
Yes.
Just a big grin.
And then a vest as well most of the time.
Yeah. He's trimmed down a lot, man. I think he's lost 3.5 stone since he's come. And it's crazy to see the change in some of the packs over like quite a reasonably, like a year isn't that long amount of time. It really does fly fast, and it's crazy to see the difference in the packs, whether it's the difference in how they're showing up, like presence-wise, their physical appearance, and their queuing ability. And Concrete's one of the guys that, like, all three of them have just gone like through the roof. Like his last queue, he was really comfortable and relaxed, and he was delivering. It's just like leaps and bounds compared to his first queue. And I was like, freaking look at this guy's arms, man. He was doing the burpees. I was like, this guy, I got some catching up to do. I have.
He's working on a bit of bulking now, isn't he? So after Valor, I was chatting with him because he said he felt like he'd got quite slim, and I said, you need to get a bit more. I know there's different takes on it, but I do think, for me, the science actually says there is a value in some carbohydrate intake for the building of muscle tissue because of what it does for glycogen and other things. Yes, you can do it other ways, but you can have. I'm part Irish. You can have a bit of potato, just a little one. Just have a little one.
Give me some carbs. Yeah, I think he's trying to put a bit on.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, and then he can get rid of the fat from the edges afterwards.
That's it. He hasn't got much there, man. He hasn't got.
No,
much
I know.
there, to be fair,
I know.
Yeah,
He'll chunk up a bit and then get it off. I mean, the amount of work his work rate is astonishing. 10 miles across the city here, or 10 this, and yeah.
I don't know how he's doing it. I really don't know how he's doing it. His job is physical labor. Yeah, he must have like pop him open. He's got like them big ass Duracells. Just got these like heavy duty Duracells chocked in there, like 13 of them. Like, where's Concrete's coming? Oh yeah, wicked. How's he getting it? Oh, he's running in.
He's running in.
What do you mean? He's running in? He's 8 miles away.
Yeah, and then right. We're talking about you guys in the Midlands, and this weekend you had a birthday party. What was it for? Tell us.
So the birthday party was for the 4th birthday of the Midlands F3. We celebrated it at Wilberforce. We had 4 queues, one for each of the 4 quarters. Queuing it was Concrete, Scientist, Mater, and myself. And we had 26 Midlands packs show, which was honestly amazing, because I remember coming to early on the Leeds convergence when we came up to you guys in Leeds, and I think we had 21. And that was amazing when we was all sat around and was talking about our sugar addictions and while eating cake, a little bit of cake. I was like, wow, like, look how many there are, like there's so many of us. And it was just crazy to think that we had 26 packs from that day. We had 26 packs only from the Midlands. So it was just a sign of the growth and the diversity of the packs as well. It was really, really, really great. We've got some great pictures as well. Buddha was a cameraman for that. And he's got some really, really cool pictures.
Cake looked good.
The cake was banging. The icing tasted like marshmallow. It was great. I had 2 slices of that, and Strider turned up with some cake. Strider baked some banging cakes, and it was like a gingerbread, almost like a gingerbread sponge. Not a sponge. What was it? Yeah, like a gingerbread sponge, and it had the perfect amount of ginger in it. Like, it was just enough to give you the flavour, but it didn't blow your face off. It was, yeah.
Is Strider your respect packs?
Yes. Strider's 73 years old, and he shows up, man. He really does show up. He's had some bits and bobs with his health, so he hasn't come to a beat down to participate maybe for the last month or so because of things going on there. But he still comes. He comes Starsky, and
full Starsky. When I was there, he had a full Starsky on, like the full kit and everything. So he's fully committed, man.
Yeah, Strider represents. He turns up in his F3 gear. Yeah, man, he's always representing. Hats off to Strider. He's a great guy as well. He's just got a lovely, calming presence. Yeah, it's an inspiration to see. Like, oh, I don't have to give this up. Like there's no like, oh yeah, I've hit this age, so I have to stop. Like, he comes in, he gets it in.
So you cued part of the beatdown. Give us a quick overview of what you did.
Yeah, so we split it into 4 quarters. So we had Get Right, Live Right, Lead Right, Leave Right. I had Live Right, which was the second quarter, and I believe in living life in balance. Yeah, you can push the boundaries on certain aspects, but it's always beneficial to bring yourself back to a state of balance so you don't burn yourself out, or so you don't fly off the deep end in one of those areas. And so I had it split into 4 quarters, doing a rotation. So we had the first quarter. It's actually, I didn't mention it in the queue, but it's based on 4 archetypes, essentially. That is a bit of a philosophy / psychology that I live my life by. I didn't mention that in the beatdown because, we had 15 minutes. We had to get after it, lads, But it was broken into explosive burpees. Then it was partner big boy sit-ups where you link legs. Then it was a group squats on cadence. So it was 4 count squats. After on each 4 we'd squat and you'd count in your head. And then as the packs come in, each rep you let the new packs in and the new packs go out. So it keeps the circle formed. And then the last one was with Cindy's Curls for the Girls to take the babies. I call them take the babies. I don't know if it's an exercise that's already been named, but I call them take the babies, which is basically, I can't even show you. I see you got your hands down by your waist, you curl up, and then you push the Cindy out all the way, and then you bring them back. So it was 1 bicep curl and it was 1 take the baby, like so. They get burning. So we did 6 reps and then we added 2 reps each circuit for my section. Concrete took the warmer armor, and he also did a music round, which was Stevie Wonder Happy Birthday, which was great. Mater, what did Mater do? Mater did bear crawls for not the entirety, but most of the field. But we did bear crawls in cadence, which I've never done before, actually. That was really cool because it was all in a line. And on the first way we did it, it was down the side on one of the ends, and it went out askew. So we brought Mater into the center, and it was really cool to see how everyone just got perfectly in line because they could hear his calls from the center. Scientists did a love tunnel where we all got into a high plank position and we went underneath. That love tunnel was really long. Like when you're crawling through, you think, oh yeah, I'm nearly here. You don't realize like 26 packs it's a lot of distance.
Long way.
Yeah. And one of the great things that I think he did for his was he brought all of the packs that hadn't queued yet into the center, and all of the packs that had queued around the outside, and gave each and every one of them a chance in the beatdown to lead a specific exercise. Some of the guys were nervous. They didn't know what exercises to do. So we'd chip in, we'd talk to them quickly. We'd be like, hey, baby arm circles is fine, or high knees is fine. It's just a matter of picking an exercise you're comfortable with and doing it. And you could see the confidence growing in them throughout literally one single exercise from the start. As soon as you hear that 1, 2, 3 and you get that one boom back to you, like you could tell it triggers something in there that invigorates them. And then by the time the set's done, they're full. You know what I mean? They're full. So yeah, it was a great beatdown. It was.
Superb. Yeah, I love it. I love it when you get such a big group of guys and you're queuing it. It's great.
I feel like I've got a question brewing. It could be the beans in my lasagna.
That protein, mate. How are you guys finding it, by the way? I know I'm on here to, but like, how are you guys finding it? Because it's a recent thing. You're on episode 30.
Doing this?
Yeah. Doing the podcast. Have you guys got any experience before, or is this the first time doing it? How are you guys finding it?
I think improvisation, winging it, and chatting is a good starting recipe.
Perfect.
And then we optimize from there.
Yeah. I mean, trying to listen, trying to find things that are helpful, like you explaining about playing games. That gives me some information. Some episodes will write a lot of questions as we're going. I can't do that tonight because I didn't bring my notepad. We have one of these Christmas tablecloths for the kids out, and I don't know if I mean, they're allowed to draw on it, but if I start writing notes on it, I might get told I'm defacing it. So it's a great privilege, really, because the point was to make ways for you to tell stories, your stories. The thing that I dread is all the jokes aside about never finishing because hopefully more AOs will open. But I do dread missing someone out. You know, I've had a couple of points where I've actually woken up in the night gone, oh crap, have I missed anyone out? We're not even done everybody yet. Obviously, we're not even quite halfway through. But yeah, it's great to do. I just wanted to get out. That's my kind of. We were talking a little bit with Gust the other day about getting the shorts out because the shorts are connecting, you know, and one of his shorts now has had nearly 2,000 views.
Wow, nice.
But it's like coming back to what Guardian said on his episode. I want every man in the Midlands to have the chance to know, to be invited. And
Definitely.
I just want these podcasts along with what the brothers are doing, the Yanks are doing, to be shared with men all over the world. Not because we're cool, but because, like you said, we're pack animals and we need this. And you literally, Dredd talks about this idea of the outsourcing of personal responsibility. It's such a state now in the world where not only can you outsource your personal responsibility for everything, but like you said, you don't even have to do anything yourself. You know, you can get a Starbucks brought to your house, which makes me mental when I'm in Starbucks, when I'm like, why is this service so slow? All I want is a black coffee. If you want a Frappuccino, blah, 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 unless you have a medical condition or a need, just get off your backside and go and get one. You know, because then you'll burn enough calories that you might actually get to enjoy it in a deficit if you walk to Starbucks. But you don't even have to do that. If you didn't want to, you could find online someone to come and wash you, and you know, you don't have to do anything yourself anymore. And
Which websites are you looking at? That's not on Just Eating Yorkshire. I could tell you that. No, it's not. Deliveroo.
Well, that's the problem with Just Eating Yorkshire is twerk means something different to you guys than the rest of us.
Twerk. Yeah.
Twerk is right.
Yeah.
Twerk
comes with the
dancing
Yorkshire Billings.
UK. That's just what they do for a job. Shaman.
What's that? Sorry, twerk is what?
Twerk in Yorkshire is what they do for a job. Twerk.
Going off, twerk.
Do you know what? We nearly had a short. We nearly had a short. Then you ruined that one, Shaman. That one's no good.
You guys caught me way off guard with that one.
It's not even rehearsed.
That's brilliant.
But,
imagine how dangerous it would be if we were actually professionals.
No, if we'd planned something, this would be great.
It would be dangerous, honestly. But you are right with what you're saying. Like you need to earn your rest. If you don't do anything for it and you don't work for it, it loses its magic, its essence of what it's like. Like if you go out and you do a bunch of stuff, when you sit on the sofa, it means something now because you've busted your ass and you went out and you worked or you've done something. You know, if you just get given it, it fades away. Like you can get people to do pretty much everything from your life for you. They're just not going to do it as good. That's just the truth of it, you know. So it depends on what you want to sacrifice quality in all those different areas of your life because you can't be bothered to do it yourself and you want someone else to do it. It's like,
yeah, I think like I would kind of aspire to have. I don't have grand illusions of what I want to be, but a lot of the days I'm happy to be adequate in some things, but there are parts of life where I want to work towards being really good. Being, you know, as a dad, as a husband, actually be good at trying to find ways to say to other blokes, look, come on, you know, let's just step out of that. You know, you're lost, struggling, and you shouldn't be just sat there on your own.
Our society's dying for elders. They really are dying for elders. Even the youngsters that don't realize that they need them, they're starving for it, man. They really are starving to be seen by other men.
I don't think that's changed, though. Honestly, brother, I think it's come again around to us. But that's a really good phrase, yeah. Starving for elders.
Yeah, I think like the disconnection has increased I think it has, because online technology has pulled youngsters more away from even being around their own peers to an extent, you know.
I was obviously we're not going to link it, but yesterday we had a carol service, and I don't know if you. I'll show you. Take my drinks bottle and show you both. Well, a long time ago, decades ago, I went on a fairground ride with my mum. It's called an El Mariachi. It's like a Mexican hat. It's like this. It has a central pole, and it spins like that. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I still have any sense of why we went on this ride, or why in my 20s I was cool enough to be at a fair with my mum. You know, I don't quite get it. You know, I suppose it's better than sitting in your bedroom at home crying to Hadaway, "What is love?" thinking, when is somebody going to love me? You know, like a lot of teenage boys do. I did. It's like a confession. We rewind.
Bracelets.
Right. Anyway.
Hadaway.
Hadaway. What is love? I heard it in a beatdown this week. That's why it came out. The Packs were exercising and Hadaway came on. I shouted out, was anybody else in their bedrooms crying, thinking they wanted a girlfriend to this song? And about half of them nearly dropped their kettlebells and started laughing. But I was on this ride and it was spinning, and I ended up crushing my mum. And what I was saying in the sermon yesterday was, I feel like the world is a bit like this ride, and life is pushing people out and apart. And we look at people across the other side and we see them and we go, you're different from me. You're wrong to be over there. And then it results in the terrible things we've just seen in Australia with another shooting, terrible things we see in America. You know, people might hate her, but I was watching a little bit of, my wife wanted to watch a bit of Taylor Swift documentary, and she was in tears talking about the poor kids in Stockport, you know, that got attacked. And we were running a holiday club just after that, and I had a chat with my other main leader, and I said, look, when we're outside, I'm going to carry a fire extinguisher with me, and if anything bad should happen, you're going to take the kids that way, and I'm going to walk towards the nutter with a fire extinguisher and persuade them to calm down. And I'm like, but the world's got so disconnected, so far apart, and like you say, they're over there, and they might not even realise they're on the edge and struggling.
I think that's the start of polarization as well, like you're saying. Disconnection from others, to where you can end up in your own echo chamber, whether it's colour, whether it's gender, whether it's age, whether it's class, all these different metrics that people end up, you know, judging and rating themselves on. Find people who look like them and act like them or whatever. And then once you're separate enough, you can demonize them, and then you can make them the enemy. Just reminds me, like, yeah. And then you can
That's
have
right,
Armageddon, where, you know.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, like, it ends in that, doesn't it? Like battle, where you put yourself on the side of the person who's in the right, and I'm doing, you know, God's work, as it were, or, you know, I'm good and I'm fighting against evil. And it's just, for me, it all starts with separation. I think it's all going to be about unity and connection, whether it's between the elders and the youngers, which is super important, but also opposite sides of the same coin. You know, men and women is a massive one. People of different races and different religions. You know, it's okay to be pro your thing, but you don't want to be pro your thing to a point where you demonize the other.
Yeah, or treat people like crap, or think it's okay to hurt them, kill them.
That's where all the bad stuff starts to happen. So,
but this is partly why, if anybody isn't listening to the Whetstone, even Thursday's episode where Dark Helmet and Plague were talking about the power of the movement and recognizing that we're in a movement, and what you're saying there about the echo chambers and the struggles, that's one of the reasons why our values are so key. You know, the fact that this is always free, it's always on, it's always going to end in a circle of trust, it's always going to be outdoors, it's always shared leadership. So, you know, you do this in 6 months' time. In 6 months' time, maybe I'm not an AOQ, you're not an AOQ, we're simply packs reaching out to people. Flea might not be Nantan, it might still be Nantan, because, you know, you need a bit more time to do a role of service like that. But we're out there, just not worried about titles, not worried about privilege or influence or power. Just
nice
actually worried about men.
Yeah, it's nice to have a group that doesn't discriminate in that way, and it's quite interesting. Me and scientists have had conversations about this, Capsize and other packs as well, about how F3 presents and how it might be misconstrued with the military counting, the black and white, the Union Jack flag, which has now become a source of a lot of, it's one side of the polarity now, which is kind of weird because I don't watch the news. I find it depressing. And, you could call it ignorance is bliss. I understand. But for my own mental well-being, I try and stay away from it as much as possible. So it's interesting how you can kind of be put in a box because of how you present on the external. And we're trying to do the exact opposite. It's an interesting dynamic. Yeah. Yeah. But it's great that it's open to all. No one's excluded. There's a Muslim population in Erdington, a big Muslim population in Erdington, and I would love to be able to enter those communities and try and get some of the Muslim brothers on board for the F3. Do you know what I mean? And really try and gain a way of connection, because from the outside it might look like something different than what it is. We even had a guy turn up. It was actually me and scientists at the end of a 30-30, and we got into such a good talk. The 30-30 had finished, a lot of packs stayed, but after about an hour and a half, me and scientists were still chattering away. And a man came in, a black guy came in, and what he actually said, but he was kind of like checking in on what we was doing. Like, I'm curious what's going on, but he kind of had like a spikiness about him, as it were. And he seemed to think that we was like some type of, far right organization or whatnot. And it was like, no, we're just working out. This the Union Jack, like, this is our country, Great Britain, and we just so happen to have the Great British flag. Like, that's what it is. It's nothing more than that. Do you want a coffee? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want a coffee? Take a seat. But yeah, I just found that very interesting, depending on what you're watching and what you're taking in, and how you're disconnecting. We can see things very differently. It's good that we're here to dissolve that, break stereotypes.
Yeah. I mean, even as we're sitting here around the surround as a Union Jack, I mean, it's a useful tool until it's not a useful tool.
Yeah, maybe stereotypes wasn't the right word.
Yeah. Going deep undercover.
Yeah, we jumped in there, didn't we, lads?
I'll tell you what, we've gone hard on this thing for sure. Shall we start to finish off the thing? A little bit of a quick finisher then. How does posting early on a Monday morning set you up for the rest of the day and lead you into the rest of the week?
I leave feeling energetic, social battery not spent, funnily enough, being able to get communication and connection with other people, have a laugh, socialise without my battery being drained. That's something I've struggled with a lot over the years. I've been quite introverted, and it gives you a threshold. It gives you a bar for the day. For me, it gives me a bar. Like, when I'm going through the day and I've got tasks to do and things and jobs to do, I go, but was it as hard as those 11s in the rain though? Was it? No, this isn't as hard as those. So let's suck it up and crack on with it. For me, it gives me a baseline to go. It just makes everything in the day easier. That's my honest opinion. Yeah.
Give us a quick overview of the Shaman show that you had launched on YouTube.
Well, yeah, so the Shaman show was something that me and another Pax, the Fonz, had launched. And it was just to have discussions about different aspects of masculinity and current topics that might be affecting men. And we've done 5 episodes. We have put it on the back burner, but they were really good conversations, just like you say, like you guys being part of a podcast and just having honest and open, quite candid conversations and just letting the conversations go where they go. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we'll start with a question and then we might go down a 20-minute rabbit hole before we pull things back. But it was great to have conversation and discussion with the Fonz. We're quite different personality types. I'm a bit more laid back, and Fonzie's a bit more what I would call a magic man. So it's a good contrast. He's got a very unique perspective on things. He's had a very different life to me. So it's great to be able to discuss those topics, you know, about masculinity with another man who has a different perspective than me.
Yeah, I really like watching them, actually. I did watch them all. Really
you?
great content. Yeah. I sent a link to Shredder for him to watch as a pre-work.
I haven't done it. I haven't done it. I'm just saying, hands up, I didn't do it, but
That's no problem, man.
I'm gonna. But I felt like I had to get prepared for the carol service yesterday, and I wasn't. Thought I might get told off if I didn't prepare properly for that, because I was watching a YouTube podcast, and whatever. No, a video cast. Is that right?
Video.
My goodness, I'm so old.
A video cast. I love it.
It was one of those VHR things.
A video cast. That's made my evening. I love it.
Oh my goodness. I'm a bit scared. You know, we're going to go into the £1 million questions in a minute. I'm a bit scared now to ask you what the best football team in the Midlands is, I'm going to say, because I'm not sure if you care, but I will do it in a second.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, no, I do want to go back and watch, actually. Go back and watch your shows. It's interesting, this last year, you know, you get the year's review on Spotify. A year ago, I was listening to a lot of music. I was listening to podcasts, but I was listening to a lot of music. But in this last year, it's really changed, and I'm listening to so many podcasts. I think I only had something like 17 days of continuous music played over the year, whereas the amount of podcasts I've listened to was colossal, and I'm getting more out of that, really. Anyway.
Podcasts are great. They feel really, I don't know why, they feel efficient. I think I overkilled podcasts. Like there was a point where any spare piece of time that I'd have throughout my day, I'd have my head in my missus absolutely. My she absolutely hates it. I'd have my headphones on, and I'd be washing the dishes, or I'd be doing something. Anytime I've got something to do, I'd have my headset on and I'd be locked into a podcast. And like, I feel like I hit a place of diminishing returns when I was listening to a lot of stuff, but it's almost like I wasn't chewing my food. Like when I read a book, it's a lot slower, and I feel like I can chew my food. I feel like I was like having it as a, not background noise, but
like a filler.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting what I originally got from podcasts. So I don't know if you've had anything similar to that, or your brain's just way better than mine. My brain's like a sieve. So, but
podcasts are a daytime thing for me. So I try every week to listen to everything we do in the F3 Nation podcast family, because you never know when Huckleberry might give us a test and say, are you up to spec on what people are doing? And I quite enjoy that. Actually, I'm only part way through today's episode of High Impact Man, which is not a High Impact Man one. It's about leadership from a book by a Top Gun instructor who's connected to Jocko Willink. And they had to adapt with half an hour's notice, and D-Flip and Dial-Up to me have smashed it. I'm like, it's really interesting. But yeah, I try and listen to that and Hunt for Wellbeing, and then Huck. And obviously I was on a ruck on Sunday, and I was coming home, and Huck Semple turned up, and then obviously Flea was on there with Huck, which was really cool. They did a cheeky extra one on Friday, right?
It was Friday night, yeah.
Friday night, which is really cool. And have you listened to Whetstone, Shaman?
Don't think I have. I watched a few with Huck.
Keep the spin.
And I was just about to...
He's not listening, Helmet.
What was I saying? But I do want to...
We're not going to show this bit, right? This is just...
Oh, that's all right, man. That's all right. Yeah, I do want to watch some Whetstone. I do want to listen to some Whetstone podcasts.
They are good. They are really, really challenging and interesting. I think you get a lot out of it. I really do.
It's what I would describe as applied theory. So they are talking about the principles and the overviews of whatever the topic is, but then they talk about how do you apply that? How is that shown, or how does that manifest in what happens in your daily life? And they make a very good summary for the plague, who in this case is the blade, who is learning and understanding what Dread and Dark Helmet are talking about. So yeah, it's really good view, and it's going to be a bit of a listen, but go back to episode 1. Go back to
You
the
have
start of
to
it.
YouTube it because some are missing on Spotify because they had some copyright issues on the music. You think of because you said you like games. You remember Operation?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Plague's like the person on the bit there, and Dread and Dark Helmet are just coming down with the pliers again,
Or just grabbing bits.
grabbing bits out of him, and occasionally he's going that could be clippable, right? Should we do the £1,000,000 questions then? Once Flea's not drinking out of his giant stein.
Massive drink. Go.
Good job. Okay, £1,000,000 questions then. What's the best football team in the Midlands? No pressure.
I don't necessarily support a football team, but if I had to pick, I'd say Villa. Up the Villa. Yeah, my old man was a massive, massive Villa fan. So up the Villa.
So I expanded the whole of Midlands there just to give room, you know.
For those who aren't so familiar with the Birmingham and surrounding region geography, what's the difference between a Brummie and a West Country guy?
You know what? It's kind of weird because how we sound in person to someone like from the Black Country or Wolverhampton, when you're with them, it sounds very different. And for us, I guess because you're close, you can tell the difference. But to people who are less surrounded, like if you listen to yourself back, you go, "Oh, I do sound a little bit like that sometimes." The Black Country accent's much thicker, much broader. Yeah. Yeah. And same with Dudley as well. How am ya? They've got the ams in.
Dudley.
The ams. Dudley. So the amyas, yeah, that'll differentiate us. I think we're a little bit cooler, but that's just me speaking personally.
The Dudley area is the area that my family would generally call the Yam Yam land. That's
the Yam Yams.
Because obviously I was in Rugby, which is, the south where I live now, they'll think we're northerners. And obviously Flea doesn't really, Flea knows because he's a Midlander, but Flea's world, they don't know what the Midlands is either. They don't know the nuance.
The accents on some people from the Black Country is wild. I worked with a guy and I was like, oh, he's got a pretty thick, like, Dudley, like, Black Country accent. I was like, damn, like, I'm picking up 90% of what he's saying and I've got to piece together the other 10%, which is, it's fine. And his girlfriend came to pick him up from work and I couldn't understand a word she was saying. And I find it so fascinating, all the different boroughs and the different accents that are in the UK. It's amazing. Like, I'm like, this person lives like a 40-minute drive away from me and I can't understand a word she's saying. Like, I needed the fella to translate. I was like...
This brings me to the bit in Hot Fuzz, where they go to the house full of the weapons. That's exactly the bit there. That's just, I'm not sure we're allowed to link that clip, but go and watch Hot Fuzz. Hot was fun anyway, but that bit with the 3 sets of accents, it's so wonderful. The UK is this comparatively tiny place, and the amount of accents here is nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it. I do. I love it. I love hearing like Scousers and the Manx talk. Is it Manx?
Manx,
Manchester talk and Yorkshire.
Don't forget all the ones from Bristol. Doing the Bristol accent's always a bit dangerous because once you start having a cup of tea, my lover, the next thing you know is you might sound a bit like a pirate, and it just, it all goes wrong. Or a hobbit, just to do with my height more than anything. Okay. So, a bit more of a serious £1,000,000 question. If you could eat anyone, and you could also name them, who would you eat and what would you choose to call them?
Anyone? Like,
right?
Anybody?
Yep. Go with the rules that they should be 18, just so we don't get anybody jipping us off about them, being too young, like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone or anything like that. But anyone.
Oh, that's a tough one, actually. I'm not really, you know what? I'd want to eat my friend Chris. Yeah, from Stoke, and he's my partner in crime in gaming. He always has been, Team Turbo, and so we like when I was playing the most avidly, and even when I wasn't as well, we'd be joined at the hip. And he's a person that I feel that really would benefit from F3. You know, yeah, he's suffered his fair share, and he has his daily battles, but he keeps chugging on. You know, it's very admirable, and yeah, if I could EH him and get him over to the beat downs, he'd be the guy. Yeah, he'd be the guy.
What would you call him?
Call him Guts.
Because he's got guts.
Because he's got guts, but also it's a name of a character from a very popular anime called Berserk. And in many ways, he reminds me of that character, you know? Yeah, battling on.
Great. Where in Stoke is?
I know his road. I don't know. Not far from Audley?
Okay. Yeah. But the reason I ask is because I grew up in Uttoxeter, which is only 10 miles east of Stoke-on-Trent.
Okay, yeah.
And I've got quite a few friends from school who are still in Uttoxeter. So I'm thinking, well, how can we get flag planted down there? So,
Posted.
you know,
Oh,
Who knows? Maybe. I've
plenty of green ground out there.
Yeah, the greenery is actually lovely.
Yep, don't put it too near to the banks of the Trent and you're fine. Bit of flooding occasionally can cause one or two issues.
I get
Yeah. And not for like toxic or anything like that, but no, just water levels.
Just drowning. No, joking.
I mean, you guys have had some serious rain up in Yorkshire, haven't you? There's been one or two places. York got hit.
Oh, York. Yeah, York got flooded last week.
Absolutely mullered.
Not too bad where I am because I live on top of a hill. So if it rains here, it just flows down either side. Yeah. City Central Leeds is more at risk. Having a canal and a river through it. It's not great. It's not a great country, not a great county for the rain.
Anyway, we'll start talking about farming next, otherwise to move on.
Yeah, next question. So on the latest Circular Trust podcast that was out on Friday, Hook put on a video of a PAX talking about asking a man on a date. And asking a man on a date is to a date as an F3 workout. So if you were to invite a man on a date and the date is an F3 workout, how would you ask him out?
If I was to invite him on a date and it was an F3 workout, how would I invite him on a date? I don't even know. I'd sweeten him up. I'd buy him a drink first. I'll just be direct.
Yeah.
You look like the kind of guy that would enjoy going on a date with myself.
Yeah.
What you saying?
I'll come and pick you up. I'll come pick you up 5:30 outside your house.
Outside your place, 5:30.
Yeah. I'll even get you coffee after.
Wouldn't be able
Bring
to
your head torch.
You know.
Yeah.
Gloves and a head torch.
Yeah.
Gotta be done.
Gloves and a head torch. I've started carrying about 4 head torches in a bag now when every time I leave the house, just in case, because you never know.
One might flick up. Mine actually ran out this morning. Now that you say that, and I had a
I'm more meant for another PAX. You never know when someone might turn up and they might need one.
Fair play to you.
Know when an FNG might turn up and he go, I can't see anything.
It feels so official when you got a head torch as well. Like sometimes I forget to turn the head torch off. I'll flick it down to red and I'll forget to turn it off, and it'll be out, but like where the cars are and the cars are driving past. We're just having a little laugh and stuff before we get into the car, and you see some of the looks. I'm like, you know, what was he looking at? And then you forget that like you're covered in mud. You got like a red bloody head torch on, and it's 7:25.
I think I left the circuit once with a red head torch on, like driving,
just rocking it out.
It's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? Like last night, I came home from the Carol concert with a Carol service with a Christmas hat on, paper Christmas hats, because we did deconstructed Christmas crackers, and I just drove home with the Christmas hat on, like you do at Christmas time. But I often have it still on my head, the head torch. If I put it on, you forget.
Yeah, easily done.
Have we got time for a £1 billion question? £1 billion question now, brothers. This is maybe new. This could be the only time. I mean, how many times can we afford a £1 billion question? But £1 billion question for you tonight, Shaman, is if you could do anything for the F3 movement in the UK right now, what would you do?
Raise awareness. That's, for me, that's the primary thing that I would do. Like, it's one thing to turn up and post and be there for your packs and even to queue, but raising awareness to all of the men that don't know that we exist right now, I feel like that's where a lot of the weight of the mission is. So outreach, social media, branding, things like that will appeal to someone who doesn't know who we are and can tip them over from being, an unknown to a loyal pack.
Awesome. I like that.
Excellent. Right. Let's move on to notices and cafeteria. So we move towards the end.
Yeah.
What have we got, Shredder?
Quick notice from me, actually. I mentioned earlier the Burpee Challenge, and it is coming up again, January Burpee Challenge. But in 2026, I'm doing something different. I'm offering something called a Daily 50 Challenge. Now, there's a lot of versions of this around. Basically, I want to try and offer something multi-purposed, really. The idea is on an active day, you do 50 push-ups, you do 50 squats, you do 50 lunges, you do a 50-second plank and a 50-second wall sit. And what I like about those is they're basic exercises, but there is enough of them that you could make that part of your beatdown if you were queuing. You could make it a finisher in so many different ways. There's loads there. But one of our packs is a bit of a yoga guru, and he's going to help me to turn that into more of a kind of flow system. So on your rest days, because you can just, if you fancy daily 50, smash that out on your rest days, but then you're not resting. So he's going to kind of help turn that into a flow, which will probably have some transitions between things like down dogs and cobras, and just create that bit more of an intentional slowed action with your body. And it might aid some recovery, and something like lunges might change into the world's greatest stretch, where you're bringing your foot up to your hand and then swapping sides and just stretching into your groin, into your hips, where we do a lot of our work and then it ends up getting tight and stiff. So that's coming. That's going to come on band, and I'll put it on Slack as well and see if we can get some of the Yanks involved to put some information out from that. Better get on with it, really, because it's 15th of December today. So it's coming soon. Daily 50.
That's really cool that you say that, actually. And I think that's one of the things in F3 that I feel like could be focused on a little bit more. It's quite hard because it's a 45-minute beat down. You've got your circle of trust at the end. You want to get it in. I get it. But little bits of flowing movements, whether it's complexes going from one exercise to another, and just things that stretch out different muscle groups, I think is a great shout. It's funny you say that because my cue this morning was called flow, and one of the exercises was the world's greatest stretch as well, actually. Yeah, I think it's something that really helps, especially the packs that are going balls to the wall. They're doing 4, 5 beat downs per week. You can tell that when you put different stretches and different more slower paced rhythmic movements into the beat downs, they really appreciate it. So yeah,
It's a long haul, right? You're not, I know you get that kind of image from Highlander where he shouts from like Def Leppard, it's better to burn out than fade away. But you don't want to be smashing the crap out of this for 18 months and then have to stop because the hamstrings are detached from your thigh bone.
yeah, I quite like my knees, man.
Does that happen?
Right.
Does that happen?
I know somebody that's got a detached hamstring and has been told, no, really, it's not a surgery restoration process. It's what we want to do is build up scar tissue enough so it's manageable, and then not even 40. So it's not Pax. It's somebody else I know that does a lot of workouts, but I know they're going to power through and keep going. But it's It's going to make some challenge. So we need longevity, and actually, you do. You're right. We've got a Christmas dinner BD this Saturday. Is Christmas party BD basically, and Hendrix, the guy that's going to help do this flow part of it. I've asked him if he'll do after 8 minutes yoga as part of the hour, and we'll have 7 or 8 minutes of yoga. You know it's good because sometimes when he does his yoga, packs make more grunting, complaining noises than in the beatdown, because that means some of us are stiff and inflexible. So, yep. So that's it. Daily 50, and there's no big rules. If you want to get involved, you get involved, and if you just think, I just want to be balls to the wall, you can do that. Or if you just want to flow, you just do that. A bit of different movement.
Excellent. Some other upcoming bits of news. The F3 Nation State of the Nation address by the SLT is purported to be the 20th of January. If I remember right, it was going to be 10 p.m. UK time. However, keep your eyes out on band F3 UK. I'll stick a post up as soon as it's released, and we can get it in there as a placeholder. And you can watch live on YouTube, or you can watch it another time after. It'll just be an update from the SLT on what's going on, what the plans are for this year, what initiatives are going on. And yeah, it's always good to see from a global movement what we're doing and where we're up to. Some other bits of events. We've got a CSUP cracking off in Yorkshire, 1st of January, open to everyone who wants to come to that. That's going to be a pretty monstrous morning. I've not been involved with the planning. I don't know what it is, but keep your eyes out on band. There'll be some further instructions. There's already a post up, but further information about what that is. And apparently there's talk of a kit list. So I don't know quite what's going on. So keep your eye out. Sounds like fun. And then finally, in Cadence Facebook page, we've got up and running now. So we'll stick the link on the screen somehow or in the notes, wherever it's going to be. And yeah, so please jump on and have a like of the page. What Shredder and I have said we're going to do, and I'm just going to remind him of this live now, is we're going to do a FNG episode in the coming weeks. So we're going to talk through what it is to be an FNG, what a workout will involve, what the typical things are that we do in terms of the welcome and the naming and things. And that's something then that you'll be able to share with someone who you want to EH. So Shaman, you could send that to your friend in Stoke-on-Trent and say, look, there you go. There's a couple of guys talking about what to expect. And then hopefully it's another tool to reach out to more guys and with a view to grow and serve more men. So hopefully it'll be of use to someone. And even if we get one guy through the door on the back of it, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yes, we ought to stop planning for that then.
Yeah, we'll do that at some point.
This is where our personalities are quite different.
Are you the freestyle player?
I need notes and I need this, and yeah, no, it's good. That will be good. That'll be good to do. I will find a random stranger, drag them to the house, and say FNG, bring them in. No, we need to do some welcome homes. I've got some welcome homes to do. I've got a long list, and I don't know if that's a sign of the kind of winter hitting or a sign of some AOQs not letting us know. But what we do have is we get to say welcome home to the following men from the circuit. We have a new Pax and apparently settling really well. He's called Hoisin at the Weir. There would be two that I think Huck met. So there's Jasmine and then there's Kaiser. And then we go to the AO that must not be named, and we have Laces. And then just this weekend at the Brook, apparently we have another one coming, but this weekend we get the privilege of welcoming Brutal home. So welcome home, brothers. We're really, really glad you're part of this movement and this group of men. So welcome.
Right. So Shaman, any final words to wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me, lads. Honestly, yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, been able to share and pick your brains a little bit as well. And yeah, I guess who do I say thank you to regarding F3? I'm just glad F3 is a part of my life, honestly. It's really changed my life. As I said earlier, I wasn't in a great spot late last year, and it's completely changed everything. Yeah. Sometimes we don't realize that it's just one aspect of our life that can steer things in a different direction. I feel like it's an anchor to my soul. You know, whenever life's getting up and all over the place, I know that when I turn up in the morning, that the packs will be there.
Yeah, I think the person you need to thank for your intro to F3 is your rep. They are the best EHers that we've got.
I'd agree. I'd definitely agree. Yeah.
Great. On that note, yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in for this episode. We'll see you again in 2 Wednesdays. That should fall somewhere between Christmas and New Year, somewhere around
We're
there.
going to record that one.
But see how much turkey I have on Christmas Day. We'll see how tired I am from that. But yeah, we'll aim to get that out as a New Year treat for you. So see you in the gloom. And that's all for today from the UK and the Cadence team. Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.
What the heck is going on here?
We have a special guest.
What?
What the heck is that? It's
in
a
here. You love to barge in here.
You got a Father Christmas with an F3 hat on. No, Father Christmas. That's you. No,
I was about to say.
You've got
No,
a snowman with the Father Christmas.
Are we live right now? Are we? You're not live. Are you?
We're recording, but we're not live.
We're recording,
Don't worry.
but we're not
Okay.
live.
You're recording. You know, Father Christmas. I'm just gonna say, I hear it a lot. A Santa thing. I hear it, and I hear it, and I just want to tell you, it's a compliment. I'm honored to be. There's a man. I couldn't tell you my great grandfather's name. I don't even remember him. He's gone. History. Who knows who he is? But man, this world decided to remember that man for some reason. Nobody knows who he is. But just because of kindness, we implement him in every culture. And man, I get to be considered the same breath as that guy. Oh heck yeah! Anytime. What a good dude. World decided to remember him. Anyway, how y'all doing?
We're good. We've just done 2 hours of recording, so we are ready for sleep. I bet you are as
Yeah,
well.
so-
You're still on British time, yeah?
I just finished recording Dark Helmet and Jason Khalifa, and that was an hour. And like Shredder said, I only do 45-minute podcasts. I can't do these long-winded things.
Jason Khalipa's the guy that they referenced in the Whetstone this week.
Yeah. Yeah, man. CrossFit guy, man. That's a
Yep, it should be coming
Yeah.
out any second now. As soon as I get
How
that,
did
I'm
it
gonna
go?
push it. So yeah. I was debating on whether or not you guys would be sitting on the floor drinking something for this podcast.
Do you know, if I get on the floor now after that run today, I'm not getting up. My legs are so stiff sitting here.
So Shaman, Hook asked to jump on and say hi to you. He has seen the Shaman show,
Wicked.
so he wanted to take the opportunity to jump on. So here we go.
How's it going, Hook? You all right, brother?
I'm good. Good to see you. And I found you. I guess you were pushing out some podcasts back in June, and
Yeah.
they were great. Where'd they go?
Thanks, man. We just, I wouldn't say hit a bump in the road. It's just I was at max capacity with stuff in life, and I was spinning a lot of plates, and so I could feel myself getting quite close to burnout. And although I was enjoying doing the podcasts, that was the thing that I had to kind of let go of, which is unfortunate, really, because I did enjoy having the combos with the Fonz, and like I was saying, we've got contrasting personalities. I'm a bit more laid back, and Fonz is a bit more of a wild man, as it were. So it works. Do you know what I mean? You get different perspectives, and yeah, I enjoy hearing his perspective as well. He's an interesting character. I seen him today. Actually, he came over a little bit earlier, so I had a little chat with him. And, he's making some plans for 2026. So his head is in a place where he wants to keep pushing forwards. And that's just good. It's good to see him in a good mindset. It was nice to see his spirits up and him like talking about making plans and pursuing things.
Yeah. I do feel like he's got so much to offer in so many ways. And F3. I feel like we've got a mini convergence going here. This is now there's 4 of us on the screen. I quite like it.
Yeah. We've got the US. We got the
We've not had two guests on the Cadence podcast, have we yet?
No.
Check us
It
out.
feels weird in my head, but actually, no, it's maybe it's not.
All right. Well, I just stopped in here to say, hey, appreciate y'all. Shaman, I appreciate you doing the podcast. And thank you for doing them, man. They were awesome. And hey, I hope you guys check out my new intro. It's the dumbest thing I've ever created. It's my favorite.
Your new intro.
And my new intro, you see it.
Is it going to be just video?
I like the old one,
They've
man.
changed
That-
every time, but this one's the especially the dumbest. It is amazing. It's the best thing.
If you go
Dumbest
gung ho
thing.
with it, Hook.
It's all AI videos. It's great.
Is it?
Maybe.
It is.
Dear.
Is it going to be like F3 packs running with like 6 legs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like it only lets you can't like put somebody else in your AI videos. Evidently, there's some rules, so it's just me. My next conversation is going to get Shredder to make and Flea to make sure they make something of themselves and share it with me. I think you can-
Well,
Please
Yeah.
say you're in a Santa.
I definitely
Please say you're in a Santa suit.
no.
Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, for sure.
I like the one where he's giving the Bears some smackdown. I was like,
That's the one. It's coming. It's coming. That's it. That's it. You saw that
I
one.
need to see these lads. I need to see this.
Good times. Good times. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Love y'all. Thank you.
Big love, Hook.